Hey guys, so here is part 2 of the examples from 9.1 video. So this is at the very last page of your notes, number 2. This one is a little more difficult than example 1. Example 1 is just looking at pretty much straightforward probabilities from a deck of cards. Example 2 is going to be doing a little more critical thinking, if you will. So the problem says a box contains 5 pink hats, 3 black hats, and 2 green hats. Okay, I've got all of those in a box. If only green hats were added to the box, how many must be added so that the probability of the event of drawing a green hat is 3 out of 4? So this is not just asking you, okay, well, what is the probability of drawing a green hat? That's a little bit more straightforward, like example 1. This is saying, how many hats do I need to add in order to make the probability 3 out of 4? So let's just kind of write some stuff down so that we understand kind of what's going on. I'm looking for my final probability to be 3 out of 4. The probability of drawing a green hat. Well, right now in my box, the probability of a green hat would be the 2 green hats. So the probability of just drawing a green hat would be 2 green hats out of the total. So the total number of hats would be 2 plus 3 plus 5, which is going to give me a total of 10. So the current probability of a green hat is going to be 2 out of 10. But in my scenario, I want to add green hats so that the probability goes from 2 out of 10 to 3 out of 4. Okay, essentially that's what my problem is saying. I've got a probability of 2 out of 10, which is 1 out of 5. I want to add enough green hats so that now the probability is 3 out of 4, or 75%. So if I'm adding green hats, I'm going to add probability, if I'm adding green hats, I'm going to add to the probability of the total number of green over the total. So if you think back to our definition way back at the beginning, probability is the probability of the event over the total. So if I'm adding green hats, that's going to be adding to the event. Before it was 2 out of 10 because I had 2 green hats. But if I add one more green hat, now that's going to become 3 out of 11 because I added a green hat. If I add another green hat, that's now going to go to 4 out of 12. And so every time I add a green hat, it's going to add to the top and add to the bottom. Now, I want this thing to be equal to 3 out of 4. So what I'm trying to set up is, what do I need to find, how many green hats, or G, what is G, so that the probability is 3 out of 4. So I can rewrite this as 2 plus G over 10 plus G equals 3 over 4. And now I'm going to cross multiply. And so I'm going to multiply the 3 by the bottom and the 4 by the top. So I'll have 3 times 10 plus G equals 4 times 2 plus G. Okay, so cross multiply. I'm now going to distribute and get 30 plus 3G equals 8 plus 4G. Now I'm going to go through and combine up like terms. So I'm going to move the 8, subtract 8, which will make that cancel. And I'm also going to move the G over to the right, which will make that cancel. So now left on the left, I have 30 minus 8, or 22. Equals 4g minus 3g. That's what I have left on the right, which is 1g. So I have that g equals 22. Now what that means, that says that 22 green hats must be added. Green hats must be added to the box so that the probability then becomes 3 out of 4. Which what that says is now in my original problem, instead of having 2 green hats, I add 22, so that would give me 24 green hats, and then 3 black hats, 5 pink hats. That would give me a total probability of 24 over 29 over 32. Alright, let's look at example B. If only black hats are added to the original box, how many hats must be added so that the probability of the event of drawing a pink hat is 1 over 4? So this is, again, we're not looking at just straightforward of what is the probability of drawing a pink hat. It's saying that only black hats were added to the original box. How many hats must be added so that the probability of drawing a pink hat is 1 over 4? So, first thing I need to look at is what is the original probability of drawing a pink hat? So the probability of drawing a pink hat is going to be 5 out of the total of 10. That's my original probability of drawing a pink hat. Well, I want to add black hats so that the new probability of a pink hat is 1 over 4. Now, if I'm adding if I'm adding black hats, that is not going to change the probability of a pink hat. Because remember, we've got the event over the total. Well, if I'm adding black hats, I'm adding those to the total. I'm adding a black hat, adding a black hat, adding a black hat. That's not going to change the number of pink hats in my box. So now this one is just going to be 5 over 10 plus b equals 1 over 4. Because I'm not adding any pink hats, so the 5 is not going to change. There's always going to be 5 hats in the box. What I'm adding are black hats. So I'm going to cross multiply. And I'll have 4 times 5, which will give me 20, equals 1 times 10 plus b, or just 10 plus b. I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides and get b equals 10. So what that says is I must add 10 black hats so that the probability of getting a pink hat would be 1 out of 4. If you guys are working on homework and you have questions, text me to remind, send me an email, but good luck and